Morning all. Give it a couple more minutes. That's per normal. We're up to half past, some good starts. See a couple of new names on here. Good stuff. Okay, that's half past. Let's start. Okay, I'm going to trace signal out. In hindsight, maybe I never history, I don't know, bounced up here again. So I don't know if anyone took that signal. If they did, hold on, obviously. If you didn't, and you like it, you might get a better price here. Still see the short, you can slightly better price to sell it down. Use the same stop loss in TP and you get a better risk reward. So that came out, should be coming out to you. I know I posted on my QT group. So yeah, you should be all good with that. Okay, so any questions on that, or can we move along? Don't want to go in great details on it, so you can probably see why it's a sell. And yeah, so you got the figures. If you want to discuss it further, fair enough. But did it come out as a trade on Friday? Or was it one of yours? I don't remember seeing that out.
It was a trade signal morning or
Oh, bloody hell. No, it was a trade signal on Friday. I didn't say it was. Sent it out again. Oh, well, no, well, some buyers might have missed it. Okay, well, you're in already, and actually you're doing okay there, because it's coming to profit. I beg your pardon. Oh, I don't know what you do about you, Mr. Murray. You're quite right. Thanks for reminding. Anyway, so it's a reminder. That's my way of get out clause. Already been sent out, so sent out again. There we are. That's my political diplomatic get out clause. Beg your pardon. Anyway, never mind. You got it at 75 or round about that, so that's fine. I don't mind. Let it go. Let it go. It's an 8 o'clock. No, that's fine, Anthony. So we'll let it go. Right. Okay. There wasn't much point going on about that. We all know about it. Okay. One of my clients actually sent out a couple to look at. See what you think. I have my opinion. See what you think. We start actually before we go into those. Yeah, we'll just discuss the trade we already got out. Gold is very iffy. I've got a section I'll read out to you. If it's not too boring, tell me. which is actually from CNBC or NCBC, kept the wrong way around. I just copy and pasted it, so we'll have a look at it just now, and their take as well. Basically, obviously, I'm a human being. I'm going to tell you all about it because it backs up exactly what I'm saying. I'd be quite honest, if it contradicted everything I said, I might not be quite so keen on showing it to you all. But anyway, that being as it may, it's nice to have an analyst back up as well. Okay, so look at it. Yeah, we're all human, eh? Right, gold, very iffy. We had a buyout, it was 85. Popped up, popped down, seem to be holding these levels here. The dollar index, I'm just going to copy and paste for the newer guys there. You still have it, but just in case some of the newer guys don't, there we are, going to have it now. Copy, paste it, save it. This is what we discuss a lot in the trading room. Just do this quickly as well on the Euro calendar. Keep some of your economic calendar. Keep an eye on those. Nothing to do on the economic calendar, but keep it anyway going forward. But yeah, so that's the dollar index. Again, it's hovering. It's holding below 102. Not saying that I'm surprised. Holding above 101. Again, I'm not surprised. It's indecision time. We'll discuss that more after going through the trades. Okay, so if you're in gold, hold it. If you want to buy it, I'm not against that. People start talking, it could come down a bit. Either side is possible at the moment. If the dollar does strengthen a bit back to 102, you might get a bit of downside. But at the moment, I see probably a likely bit more upside. The fear factors I keep going on about on gold is probably slightly more prevalent. It's going to be some seriously stronger dollar going forward to force it down. Although there's still talkish of the Fed being more hawkish, so that could drive it down. I'm angling on the upside, but I think the best thing you can do is make this decision yourself. If you're in, hold it. If you're not in, it seems to be a bit indecisive at the moment. Batting to break above there, and I'm a little bit nervous shorting at the moment. The DXY is a bit sideways. I think maybe if you're in, hold it. If you're not in, I'm a bit iffy about jumping in again. I'm leaning towards the upside, but I'm not. I won't be taken aback and horrified and surprised and staggered and what's going on if it does pull back a bit more. Look at that candle, there's only 9 hours, very much indecision. So I think probably it's going to be same old, same old. I hate to say this, guys, but I'm just being realistic. Going forward till we get some sort of sodding direction. Sodding direction, there you are. Let's change from using the other 4-letter words on the market. And you can see that indecision clear in the candle. So guys, always look at the candle, the simplest way to do it. If you see indecision, the buyers and sellers out there, maybe they know something we don't, and stick with the indecision yourself and not get too cool with it. So I'm leaning on the upside. If you feel the same, go for it. But I think if you're in, stay in. I'm a bit iffy. Okay. Let's have a look now. GBP CHF, a couple of older trades we got out last week. I think most of you are out of that now. Probably stopped out in the profits. I didn't do the stop loss. You'd still be in, and handsome profit. No reason why you get to the TP. It just, from experience, it doesn't get there. So you want to make sure you protect yourself. Because too many guys, should I just hang on to the TP? Well, no, it's not as simple as that. Remember, millions of people buy and sell, millions and millions, literally millions and millions of people are trading with completely different aspects involved. So there's a lot of variables, and you might not get to that TP wherever it is. The TP's down there. It might not get there. So modify your stop. Again, not too close. If you put it too close, rather just exit the trade because you're going to get stopped out at a lesser price than the noise. But I think a lot of guys might be stopped and a handsome profit. We were over 100 pips up at one stage, so it's a successful trade. But whether they get down there or not, well, only know afterwards. Who knows? But if you're in, let it run, modify your stop, protect. Remember, you can always take something off the. If you want to go there quickly, you can always take something off the table. Let's say in this case you got 0.1. You want to, let's say, halve your position, cut your position. You double click on the volume area there. Okay, just a second. Put it on the other screen there. Okay, and then what you do then is you put in half your volume. I've got 10 micros, so I'm going to close 5 micros. There you are. And then you click on that, and then 5 will be closed, and the other 5 will run. So that will change to 0.05. Just bear that in mind. So you have to close your entire position. So if you're in and you think it might get to TP and you got your stop down the way, maybe 30 pips, maybe 1.10 or 15 or something, you're happy with that, and you're a bit nervous with this indecision candles, you might say, right, I've got a couple of micros, I can maybe bank one or two of them and let the other one or two run, or whatever you can decide. So you can still do that. Okay, I hope you're all clear with that. Okay. Don't like staring at all the bloody times. So keep out of the way. There we are. Okay, so I hope we're all clear on that one. Now, I'll be chasing it now, finally. Let's have a look anyway. I'm going to go to WTI because that was a trade we went out. It's technically the better sell than Brent. It's trying to get the target. I think a lot of guys are already out. I think a lot of guys 25 to handsome profit, hit this, stopped out in a handsome profit, not on board anymore. It's it didn't quite get, I don't think, 76.40. It still didn't quite get to our TP down here. So it's not quite there yet on the trade signal, but near as damn it. To go in and chase it now, I'm not too sure about that. Let's have a look anyway. You're looking at Brent, aren't you? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe up there I might consider it, but there's a lot of fundamental factors involved. It's this, sorry, May coming out, or a lot of it's been discounted in the market. OPEC will be reducing production to keep price at a decent level, supply and demand, as you understand. I'm not sure I'll be chasing it now, to be honest. It's not really getting going. It tried to come off, as we know, we've got to trade it anyway up, which we'll talk there finally, and then it jumped up. Will it break down further? We'll have to see. If it breaks down there, I'll chamber tune and look to short it further down. If it breaks back up here again, I might look at a short. I prefer not to short it up here, but I think rather leave it alone for the time being. If you're on board, great. If you modify your stop loss, great. If you're taking profit, great. If you're not on board and you want to go in again, I'd be hesitant on it. I wouldn't be too keen. Okay. Remember, this is a forum. We can discuss. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. You're not right. You're not wrong. This is where we discuss and have different ideas. I mean, someone might think everyone said Van Gogh, let's pronounce it properly, or Van Gogh, as the Americans call the painter. Some guys might not think it's very good, and some might think it's a great painting. It's difference of opinion. So it's nice to hear them and voice them. Okay. So if you don't agree, fantastic, as long as you back it up with some sort of reason. Like saying, I don't think we should have that guy posted up the other guy. Why? Because I think he's better looking. That's not a reason.
No, I just think Brent got at 80 a fairly good support. Need to wait and see which direction it's going to take.
Yeah, but I take it to see where you come from. Yeah, it's up in the sell zone clearly, and it's gone up and tapped the 50-day. If you want to take a high, aggressive, risky one, with a maybe instead of 4 as my normal stop, what's a $2.50 stop? Take it down to this guy here. And you're looking about there, maybe about there. Yeah, you get a risk reward down there. If you want to see, but it hasn't broken today, it hasn't broken yesterday. So let's look at the 4 hour. Maybe you can get a view on that. Not really. Is that telling you much? Not really. An hour. See, no. The buyers and sellers, nobody's in control. The buyers and sellers, either side of an even Steven. Always think of a seesaw, like that. If it's a fat guy on one, a skinny guy on the other one, it's fairly obvious the skinny guy's going to go up there, the fat guy's going to go down the seesaw. With exactly the same weight, it's going to be an equilibrium. Which you're going to do? You know what I mean? So it's a bit even Steven at the moment. So morning, Pietro. Yeah, morning. I haven't discussed your trades at the moment. We're going to come to that in a minute. Just wait for you to arrive. Okay, what else do we have out? Do we have anything else out? GBP USD was doing beautifully, then it popped up again. It's all about the dollar more than the pound at the moment on that particular currency pair. It is a negative. It was in a positive down here at one stage, 64, which is a nice positive. Some guys might have got nervous and taken it and taken the profit. Whoever, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what you guys do at the moment. We've got a lot of cards to check each one on the off chance. It takes too long anyway. Oh, that's good stuff. Hope we'll continue with mine. Mine's going for 12. Got May come do the ironing. So I hope she's going to be able to do that. Before 12, we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So what am I talking about now? Yeah. So it's popped up with a slight negative now. It's not a horrendous one. It seems to be holding, but we'll see. It's more dependent on the dollar and the pound, I think, at the moment. But anyway, so be it. The trades haven't been going too badly the week, and the winners have been doing so well that you have to do two losers in a way to beat the winner. So in other words, even if you lost 50 and won 50%, you should be in a net profit, which is what it's all about, really. CAD JPY was another one, 99.94. That was a sell. Just going through it, previous trades. See, that's doing fine. See what I mean? It was down here at one stage on Friday, which was 130 pips. And it was this level here. Some guys who know their stuff and know their onions going the weekend, seeing this area here, I might stop this, I'm going to take it. And I don't think that would be the wrong move. And then they made a nice handsome profit. Thank you very much. If you didn't, you're still in a profit. Clearly modify your stop. Sorry going about this because a lot of guys come in new and they're not so sure. You don't leave your stop in a loss now when you're in a fat profit. That would be crazy. You don't want to send a loser into a winner into a loser. So what you do is you modify your stop, keep a bit of distance. So if you're still in this one, when did we get in? I think it was on Friday, yeah. Anyway, no, it was Thursday. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. 99.94 entry. You can make this, make it 99.40. There you are. You've got a bit of distance, and then you got a nice 50 odd, more than nearly 50 odd, well, including costs, 50 net profit pips, 50 pips net profit, I should say, even if you get stopped out and so you can have another bash. But if you're one of these on the ball kind of guy, if you saw this one set up like mine, might be an idea to take it there. You know what I mean? Going into the weekend especially. But anyway, that was a nice one. So that's a beauty. Gold is hovering, not much up or down. AUDJPY, we already have that's in a profit. Just send that again. I do beg your pardon, but never mind. It's in a profit. And then, yeah, GBP USD is, it's not pretty, but it's 20 pips. It's not a trade smash. GBP CHF, beautiful. Old trade. I told the guys, if you haven't got much money, don't touch it because it's very, very slow. And you could be in there for a week, maybe a month, maybe sometimes 2 months. Very slow. It's hovering. Look at the movement on there. That's for guys who got some money, let it run. And I think it's a bit of undervalued at the moment. You might get another break upwards, etc. Something like almost like a long-term equity. Let it run, forget about it, and then you got your stop TP, and then just look at it maybe once every few days to see how it's going, and maybe take it from there. Use some common sense, basically. You know the score, modify, protect. You know that thing. We're not talking about great brain stuff there, mostly. So we're all right there. Okay, so again, not too bad. More winners and losers, and the winners, if you stuck it out, didn't take too quickly, more than made up for any losses you made. So you should be in a net profit. I forget which ones now are on the EJS one, the momentum strategy we evolved in the trading room. But I think the last we looked at them, I think I've taken out a couple, and I think I'm out of a couple as well. I think hit stop losses or whatever. In a profit, that is. Remember, stop loss is not always a dirty word. Stopped out 90% of the time what I do is I modify it, I keep an eye on it. But the bottom line is not going too badly. So if it's quiet today, we can look at 1 or 2 of those. Okay. There's nothing on the economic front to worry about. Before I go into three trades that came up, we'll discuss with you. We mentioned this morning. Just want to mention a reversal on Thursday and Monday coming up. I will not be in the trading room. I thought I was going to might be doing it on a Monday, but decided not. It's not by me, by the way. I'm not anyway. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, normal trading room, and then back on Tuesday. So you can have a happy break from my voice for a few days. So there we are. You're hearing me every bloody day. You probably start feeling this bloody voice going tapping to your ear. Okay, thank you, Marley. I wasn't fishing, but I'm not going to say that.
Sorry.
Remember, Marley, hang on, Farley. Marley is actually a female, so she loves me. That's far nicer than a mere male saying it. So that's double the accolade. Carry on, back to serious stuff. Go for it.
No, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, Friday, nothing, Thursday, nothing.
I'm sorry, someone's on the ball. Farley should pay to stay. I do beg your pardon. You're quite right. Friday morning, I do beg your pardon. Thursday off, Monday off. I will be on Friday morning. Thanks for the correction. You're quite right. You've got to keep on the ball, and here I tell you, you're quite right. Thanks, mate. Yeah, Friday morning. So I will be back normal Friday morning, not afternoon, but Friday morning. Yeah, correct. Thank you. Just to clarify. You see, my mind went off the ball there, Farley, because that wonderful emotional outburst from Farley towards from Marley towards myself there. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
Now I understand what influence women have.
Oh,
you at
you have
this
no
age.
idea, ladies.
Sorry
You have
about
no
that.
idea. I'll tell you what, if I'm coming back in the next life, you believe me, I'm coming back as a beautiful guy, so a beautiful woman with a guy's understanding what a guy is. I tell you what, I'll have a meeting out of my hand, I tell you. That's true. Yeah. I think there's more wars and fuss being created by the effect the female have on the male. The trouble is the male are full of testosterone and think it's great to go to war. I think most of it's like Troy, you know, was it Troy who said that went to war on the face that launched 1,000 ships? Helena of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships, you know what I'm saying? And the trouble is those silly bugs all out there risking their life, and the females sitting behind just waiting for the winter to come through. I tell them, not so bloody daft, yeah. Anyway, moving along. Okay, so I think we've covered, if I missed one, just mention, I think I've covered most of an update. So we're just going to go in and look at peer-to-peer, look at the companies, look at NZDJPY as a sell. See what you guys think. If you like it, we might put it out to everybody. Instead, mention the trading room and see what you guys think. This is a sell, okay? What do you think, guys? I can give my opinion, but I think you're getting practice enough without me preparing you. So before I give my opinion, I'd like you to, no pressure here, ask the line. Come on, you've been here for a while now. What do you think? Like it, dislike it, give reasons for it, see you're learning. This is an oral examination, and you all got to pass at 80% pass, or we won't be allowed back to trade again. There you are. Bit of pressure, my friend. This is $1 million putt. What do you think? If you like it, do you think it's a buy? If you agree with the sell, or do you think it's a buy? If you like it, if you enter the market, what do you think? There you are. Take it away. It's all yours. You can unmute if you want to do it verbally, probably easier. Right, that's the point where was mentioned to sell, and well, if you want, so I will say that. I do agree with it. I'm looking for a sell myself, but if you're looking for a buy, as long as your reason for it, that's the main thing. It's like I'm not saying, again, I think the Republicans or ANC should get in because I think Joe Soap's a nice guy. That's not good enough, you know. You got to have a reason. We're good in the sell. Right? Do you think we should wait, go in at market, go in at a better price, maybe wait for whatever? Should we go in at market on this one? Now, that's an interesting point. I don't even know this news. That's a good point you made there. We just started. It's not a bad point for a guy who just started. No. Is it a bit slow? Let's have a look at Friday's candle. 95 pips. No, it's not that bad. It's not NGAS. You know, NGAS is a permanent traffic jam. 95 pips in a day. If you make 95 pips in a day on one particular instrument, you would be ecstatic. You'll be happy. You'd be ecstatic. That's not that bad. Some of these, I mean, you can always tell me that's a fairly quiet couple of days. This is an active day. None of these too bad. Iris likes to buy. Okay, so he thinks it's going to go back up to maybe there, or even there, or there. Okay. And it is on resistance at the moment, isn't it? Somewhere. That's better. Some bit of resistance at the moment. Let's look at a shorter term candle, 15 minutes. There's some buyers coming in. I'll give you a due on that one. The momentum to the upside, that's a fair comment. See, don't write off someone doesn't agree with you. That's a big problem with the human being worldwide. They want people to say something that fits into their narrative. I always use Saddam Hussein. He chopped their heads off, they disagree. So all going to say, yeah, we agree, you should invade Kuwait. No one's going to put their hand up and say, well, you're going through, quite frankly, a more resourced economy like the States with, you know, better weapons. I don't think it's a good idea. They'll be head chopped off. We don't want that. We want to say, no, I think it's a bloody silly idea to sell it. Fair enough. But as long as we've got you know, that's what all presidents are supposed to have advice and listen to them. So there we are. Yeah, you think it's a buy. Okay, on the 1 hour, a few sells have come in. 4 hour, it's right resistance. I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to think it's a sell, but Myers thinks it's a buy. But again, he's hedging his bets a bit by saying if it does this, if it does that. Well, I'll tell you what I think. If it's up there, comes back, it goes down, bounce again, I think it's a buy. That's not where it is now. So that's hedging the bets. I'm talking about now. What do you think now? Do you go in now? Not next week, might do, whatever. I'm talking about now. That's where the extra pressure comes on. Okay, that's when it gets tough, you know. Because everyone will say we should wait and blah, blah, blah. That's sitting on the fence. Sometimes correct. I'm talking about now. What do you think? Anyone going now as a buy, now as a sell, or nothing at all? Pietro put it forward. I'm not saying my opinion. Nelly did then. But I'll give it a moment. What do you guys think first? You can see on this chart, same thing. We don't have to do what you call it, a screenshot. We got it up here. Yeah, so fair enough, but is that going to be sustained? What, any comments? Anybody think this is a trade to go in either direction, or are we in LIA? What's the opinion? This is where you guys have now got to start thinking for yourself. This is not a parrot fashion, just follow blindly your signal. This is a trading professional, yeah, who are learning and getting to start thinking for themselves. Let's have some opinions. I will let off anyone who's just started. We'll be doing it about 3-4 days. Give themselves a break. The guys have been doing it a month or two. I think they can safely say they can have their opinion. It should be listened to at least. Oh, is it? I didn't see that. Okay, I just saw it. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Morris, to clarify that. Okay. Is that a JXY, isn't it? Isn't that correct? What's the code for it, Morris? JXY? Type that down. Come on, guys. What do you think? I see quite a few familiar names there. Been here for a while. They must have opinions here. Right. On the 1 hour, this is on the 50. Nearly it is. Yeah, that's true. I think there's a good end to the sell at the close of the candle, which in 5 minutes' time. See, that's not an hour's time. I don't mind that, Marnie. I don't mind that. We say on the close of the candle an hour's time. It's a little bit far away from now, but 5 minutes is nothing. So that might be an idea. That's more. It's not a bad idea. In fact, it's a bloody good idea. More to think about. It's an excellent idea. Yeah. Let's revisit. It's only 5 minutes' time. We won't forget it by then. Have a look again at 10 and see if we can get some sellers arriving. Start to arrive. A bit more confirmation. Yeah. JPYWCA. Don't use anything but DXY, but it's nice to have it handy in case I need it. JPYWCO. I usually use trading, whatever it is. I use investing.com. So check it out on that way. Okay, no problem. Okay, but so we're agreeing more on the sell and the buy. Is that correct? Let's just identify that. Let's see if we can work together here and overcome the nerves and actually voice our opinion verbally or on the chat line. We agreed on the sell. Okay, so we're happy with the sell. Sorry, Marius, looks like the guys agreeing on the sell. It happens, opinions. We had the strategy room this morning, 8:30 as normal, and one guy agreed with Marius, it was a buy, but we refused to sell, and then decided we'll discuss it here, and if we like it here, we'll put it out to everybody. There we are. I'm not going to ask Pietro's opinion because he clearly put out the signal, so he's rather going to be biased in the favor of the sell. So I'm going to take him as read that he's okay to put it out. So I'll let you off the hook there to give you an idea. Well, I'm afraid I've given my ideas. I definitely like it to sell. Stop up here. We're on the one that tells me a lot. Sorry, guys. If we can get up a further stop up here, yes, we can probably squeeze up here. Just want to up there, maybe a little bit higher, maybe about an 80 pip stop, which means we need 125 or something to go for it. Yeah, and take a TP down there. So we're going to wait on that one. Just going to put the figures in the meantime. Well, we've done it, so that's fine. That's sorted. Brilliant. Okay, there we go. So, listen, Marnie, now you put your hand up, said at 10 o'clock with you. Can I throw the responsibility to you just to remind me at 10 o'clock if I'm waffling about something else? Only 3 minutes to keep an eye. And if I'm still looking at the NASDAQ or something, or NatGas, highly unlikely, just remind me. Okay, because we're getting off to GBP USD for a moment. We've got a trade idea out there to sell. You're saying, is it worth going in now? Obviously, we've already got to sell out. To be honest, it was my idea, and it's slightly higher than the market one we sent out on Friday. So you're basically saying sell it now. Well, the DXY is still hovering, because clearly, if you're selling this, you want the dollar slightly stronger, and it's not much happening. It's had a couple of attempts at 102. Nothing's happened. It's had a couple of attempts at 101.50. Not much is happening. It's a bit sideways. And you can tell that from the candle in, movement. It's very, very sideways at the moment. But clearly, I'm going to stick with my guns on the sell. So I think the possibility of a bit of downside. I think there's been a lot of reaction on the high inflation rate on the CPI on the pound. I think a lot of that's discounted the market. And the result of a high CPI, I know often stronger pound or stronger currency, but it often shows a little bit of weakness as well. So I'm just thinking maybe, basically. If you didn't enter the market, and we put a stop up there. It's a long stop, a long way away, but it means not a problem. I don't care if it's 200 pips away. I don't like it there, but it just means you reduce position size. So you're not increasing risk. If you're putting the risk 500 Rand on the instrument, it doesn't matter, the stop's at 300, 3,000 or 30. It just means you just do a smaller position. I hope you'll get that point. So if we put the stop up here, corresponding, we need a decent TP. So we'll never make the TP down there. Whether it gets there, another story there. 1.2220. So there's a risk reward, but the problem is that's 200 bucks a micro. Instead of being 100 or 150 or 80 or whatever, it's 200 Rand a micro. But clearly, we've got to trade that out. So I'm not necessarily saying I do agree anymore. The guys say, well, thank you very much, mate. I'm going to trade with 20 pips down. But yeah, so if you want to chase it there, that's your choice. But I'm quite happy with it. Ten o'clock's coming up, so let's have a look. Come back to that because it's a bit of hesitant there. So no big response on it. We can do that. So we'll do the CAD in a minute. Just remind me, NZDJPY. Take profits clearly rubbish. 80, call it 81. So that's not, okay, I'm going to put this a bit higher. That should have changed on the daily, sorry. Maybe a bit of confirmation, guys. I think Marnie, was it Marnie came up with the idea, this is holding. Well, you've got a point there. It might just reach there before coming off. That's not the confirmation I was hoping. I was hoping we get a bit of movement down. Not really a confirmation, you see what I mean? Put it back on the hourly. It might just click up. See, this 50 coincides with this guy here, and this guy here, and this guy here on the hourly. They work for all trades. You must have, if you haven't got it, guys, make sure you got the 50 and 200. If you like the 100 and the 10, go for it. The 50 and 200, the world uses them, so they're self-fulfilling, hence they're very important. Act as support resistance. Don't try lagging indicators. Just see if they cross or uncross or whatever as an entry. They're too lagging, unless you've got maybe a minute one or something like that. Well, 1 day moving average, I should say. You see, that's a good point as well, Gerard. You've got to do the maths as well. If you like it, you're waiting for confirmation. It's only 3 pips away. So it's not really the 3 pips or 6 pips I'm worried about, Gerrard and company. I'm more worried about, is this going to hold? If it doesn't, we're going to see our arse if it shoots back up there. I don't see why that should occur. I just don't know. But you know the market's like. The dollar's weakening a bit at the moment. Getting a bit nervous that pound dollar one. I'm looking across my other screen. Now it's jumped back up again. Leave it alone. Go away. Okay, yeah. Do you think we should wait for confirmation and go now? What do you think? Remember, I've stopped right out of the way. I'm not quite sure it's going to take it right up to the green stop. Funny color. I can try to change it around. Every time it pulls back again to green, it should be red. The other one should be green. Try again. Crimson, I like that. That's crimson. Yeah, I like that. And the TP. Stick it along green. That's better. See it more clear that way, yeah. Okay. Look at the 15. Any evidence of sellers coming in? What do you think? You want to wait till 11 now, do you? Okay. All right. Something else came before that one there, Mars. Sibonga, US dollar CAD. Okay, consensus going to wait on that. But obviously, we don't want to get it down here, you know what I mean? Come back in a couple of minutes. Dollar CAD. They're pretty similar. Normally not. I know we all talk about the oil because it's an oil exporter, but for some reason, I'm guessing because they're next door neighbors and Canada's biggest trading partner, the USA, like most places, especially from that. So if we get a dollar weakness, not always that far from it, but it's something that goes in sympathy with it. Dollar CAD. Put on the daily, see what we're doing. Yeah, neutral zone. I prefer the buy or sell zone, but neutral will have to do. It seems to be holding that 50. The dollar's fairly weak. I think the Canadians got a slightly better economy. It's more resources, and they've still got the political infighting at the top level through Trudeau in Canada and, of course, Biden in America, which is not doing themselves any favors whatsoever. But I still may be leaning towards, sure. I think, have we got a sell on this one? I'm not sure we got a trade idea already, but I'm towards a sell on this one. See, Mongo, I can't remember, did you say sell or what did you put down for this one? You just put a question mark. I see a sell on this one, and really up the daily, I quite like it actually as a sell. The problem is on the weekly, clearly it's a buy. That's a bit of a hassle. Well, it seems to be holding these levels. The sellers are coming in over the last 3 weeks. Remember, so weekly, you seem to be holding the last 3 weeks, but don't look at this candle here. It's only 10 hours old. Maybe start the week on Monday. But it seems more range trade. Hang on, the range trade might do the job. 170 pips. Anyone want to cry if you make 170 pips? Hey, you seem of a buy. Okay. Well, the buy might be on the weekly. It's not getting going. It's not sure about that. Daily, it's looking as if it's holding for a sell. So now I look at a sell. The range trading looks like a sell the range. 4 hour. Where's the 4 hour? There you are. It's in the neutral, so no problem to sell. We're getting some sellers in there. Not really broken through yet. It looks like it's a bit on some looking like it might be upside. I agree with you, Mr. Sear. And there's some other guys are looking like a sell. I'm leaning towards more likely a sell. There we are. The 4 hour. I think this could be some sell activity here. I'm leaning towards a sell. You're looking towards a buy. Some guys are looking to leave it alone. I'm looking towards a sell on this one. All right, so I can put them both down. I've done that before. If anyone wants to do a buy, we'll put the calculator up and see. Everyone wants to support that can do it. With the seller and supports that, we can do it. And leave it alone will mean leave it alone. So just if you want to leave it alone, just keep your ammunition, wait for that moment. I want to see anyone wants to do it. We'll start with Sia Bonga. What do you want to do? Guys, do you want to support him? Should I put the calculator up for a buy on this? I'll put up, even if one person does it, like Sia Bonga himself. I'm saying any support on that. Yeah, but you put a trading idea like you've done there, guys, the NZD dollar, always put down looking at the buy or sell. Very important. Let's put it down. Can we look at the NZD CHF? You've got to have an opinion on which way it's going to go before we look at it. Should we leave this alone then? Looks like more people saying leave it alone. Anyone looking for a buy or a sell on this one? Okay, Sia Bonga, I think most people, that's what the trading's for, to get moral support. That's why you put it up. And I have to say, if I'm thinking, we should get an NZD CHF, and everyone else thinks, no, it could be a buy, not a sell, or a leave it alone. I've been around a bit, and I don't care. I might suddenly think, I'll start having maybe leave it myself, you know? This is what it's for. So we'll move on then. Okay. Obviously, do what you like, but I'm saying it seems to, you've asked our opinion, and the majority says rather wait this one out. That's fine. That's what we're here for. That's great. AUD NZD, I forgot who actually asked for that. You're happy with that? Good stuff. Thank you for your reply. AUD NZD for sell. I remember we put that down. I'm having problems with this particular account. We did one the other day, it didn't work out. It was also a sell, didn't work out. Down here somewhere, I don't know what it was, but it was down there and it decided to stop us out. It's in neutral zone now. Similar economies, one's bigger country, bigger population, but overall similar currency. That doesn't really matter. I mean, Luxembourg is the highest GDP in the world. It's a tiny country, so it's all, you know, just because you've got 1 billion people, then you'll have a bigger GDP. But if you divide that GDP into 1 billion people, suddenly you find it's a poorer country. You see what I mean? So pretty similar currencies. I don't know. Just you want to sell it. You could be right. It's bounced up a lot. It could well come back a bit. Let's have a look at Fibonacci. You can get any help on the Fib. Turton Poem. Didn't really hold the 618 before coming off. Didn't really help us at all there. I suppose, to be honest, I'm inclining to maybe counter at a downside here. I tend to lean on your side on the AUD sell, but I'm not that confident, to be honest. I personally, I'm not that confident to do this. It looks like a pullback, but it's not a really strong pullback. It's they're too similar to me to give me a lot of confidence to. It could come back down to the support level here, and it's not very strong, but it is a bit of a one there, and then suddenly bounce up, and then go up there, and then stop you out, and then come. I don't know. I think I'm going to personally sit on the fence on that one, but I'm inclined to rather. If I had to do it, I tend to agree. I'd rather sell it than buy it, but I'm not going to do either. Any opinions on this? Are we going to give an LIA on this one, or anyone more confident to buy or sell it at market? Not wait, I mean at market, I'm talking about now. Yeah, I think that's going to be the consensus, yeah. Okay, all right. I'm going to go back to Pietro's one of Euro AUD. I've got my opinion on that, but I want to hear yours first. He's looking for a buy. EUR AUD. He's looking to buy on this one. Go to the weekly. Let's go to the monthly now. He's looking to buy on this one. This is the monthly, remember? So go back to it now. Got info. The 4 hour quickly. Anyone, look, before I give my opinion, I want to see what you guys say. Do you agree with them for a buy at this stage? often is Marnie, yeah, but sometimes you have to say that normally, but you can just keep your mind open today, so you might get 3 or 4 buttes and nothing on Tuesday when you expect more action. Just when you're dealing with the markets, humility and open mind is the 2 very important parts you've got to keep in mind. Okay, Sibonga, we're in a buy. Anyone see it's a buy at these levels now? I'm afraid to say that's how I feel. I'm not sure that's a brilliantly intelligent strategy, but I'm frustrated about it. I tend to feel that as well. Remember, it's gone up since January, 3 months, it's gone up nearly 1,200 pips. I'm not saying it couldn't go up another 1,200, the euro is pretty strong, but that part is making me nervous. I'm afraid that's my leaning on it. And if you go to the monthly, that's a good point as well. You can find a TP up here, I'm pretty sure, on the monthly. So you can certainly find one, maybe to here. You can certainly find a TP, but it was that level in 2020. That's the part that's worrying me. It was mentioned actually because I brought those 3 ideas out as a promise to Peter at the trading rooms and the strategy room today. And I was the impression that I'll mention it to you guys, but it's not very scientific. I'm just very, very nervous for these heights. I tend to agree with you, but I'm personally trying to I prefer to get a better price. Maybe down here somewhere. That's a hell of a long way away. That's a long way away. Yeah, if we pull back there, might not get there, might get to, might come back there. Is that good enough? To maybe 15 to take it up. I just, no reason why it shouldn't go further. Just because it's very high doesn't mean it can't continue further, but it just means naturally it is so high, as mentioned. And it might just get a pullback, profit taking pullback, nothing else, and we get 4 of the trousers down chasing it. So I'm going with Carol on that one. I'm going to sit this one out. Anyone want to do this? I'll put the calculator with pleasure. Anybody? Okay, one more, and then I want to just read out this article. EJ, I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. What we're doing the yeah, it's looking like it could be on the EJ. Maybe look on the EJ one. Yeah, that might be an idea. Just wait. It's 1:15. Just about to open another one. So that's already open. That's all right. I'm just putting out there. Maybe on the EJ, 30 pips. We're 30 pips down here. And just ride it up above this. Don't have to have a target, just ride it up. EJ is a good strong possibility. On the EJ one, I tend to agree, but not on the normal one. Anyone wanting on the EJ strategy? The trading room momentum strategy. Okay, well, as you think about that, any replies, put it down. You like it, say so. Give me a quick explanation. Involved a couple of weeks ago in the trading room. Called EJ, because a guy called Tim Joubert actually mentioned it. I looked at it and I think I quite like it. This is nothing to do with fundamentals or anything like that. It's just purely momentum. Clearly, the momentum above the 10, we're on the 10-day. The 10-day moving average is clearly up. So what you do is you go to the daily, and it must be above the blue, not the black, the blue and the brown to buy it. If it's in the neutral zone, you ignore it. And if it's below the brown and the blue, you look to sell it. At the moment, we're looking to buy because above the 2. To get an entry, it's got to be on the 1 hour above the red. And it looks like it's opened above the red, as you can see. At 1:15, no, sorry, it's a 15-minute clock. Yeah, it seems to open above the red. So we look there to buy it. No more, no less. If you like it, then you put a 30 pip stop. That works out at 50 Rand plus minus a micro is your risk. No TP. And you put a trading stop in or modify your stop, keep it 30 pips behind. If you're stopped out, etc., or you just keep on running it till it breaks below the 10-day. If it breaks below the 10-day, even if it hasn't triggered your stop, then you can get out of it. You know what I mean? So you might break below there, the stop is down there, you get out of it. So it breaks below the 10, you get out or hits the stop. No TP and just ride it with the momentum. Completely separate, summary evolved here. Nothing to do with the company or anybody else. This is our trading marine momentum trade. Trading room trade. Simple as that. And been quite useful, done quite well, even there's been lots of fundamental ups and downs. The only time you wouldn't do it if a major fundamental is coming out. You're about to go in the euro US dollar and a CPI or PPI or non-farms coming out in an hour or two, then you wouldn't bother. So just check it. There's nothing big coming out on the fundamental front. In fact, a major 3-star job, and then you can go for it. So this one, an EJ one, yeah, you can do it on that basis. Because momentum's clearly still up. Good with that? It's quite simple. Do a quick one for you. Otherwise, we'll come back to Euro AUD. We'll come back this one. Actually, another one was mentioned. EUR AUD as a buy. Let's go to the daily. Isn't the buy zone? It's above the 2. Yes, it is. Flick for the 1 hour. It's also opening. That's a little mirror image. That's Euro GBP, sorry. Also. Okay, is in the buy zone above the 2? Yes, it is. Let's go to the 1 hour. Is it above the red? Yes, it is. So because the red, and we're looking to buy it on the 1 hour, 30 pips stop, 50 rand a micro, put it in, no TP, and let it ride. And if you want to put a trading stop in, it's quite simple. All you do is a second. You go here. Look how it's jumping around this thing, man. That's the wrong one. Okay, all you do is icon beside the CAD CHF, you right click on it, you go to trading stop, you go to custom, and you put the figure 300, not 30. This is points, not pips, remember. You put 300 in there, that's going to 30 pips, okay it, and that trading stop protects you. So you're going to be either out on your trading stop, or if it goes right up there, and then on the hour candle, it breaks below the 10, you'd exit. Hope you got that. There you are. There's one to the trading room. So the Euro GBP on the EJ, the momentum strategy. Yep, I like it. All right. Now, was decided as a sell by Pietro. I don't agree with this, Pietro. I think this is a buy. Okay. Now, so I think it might be a possibility here, but unfortunately, I disagree with the direction. But never mind. You came up with the idea. I think there's a possibility of some upside here. I prefer the Euro to the GBP. It's not miles overbought like the previous one we looked at. And it isn't the buy zone. I think there's a possibility of a buy on this one. Can we get a decent movement? Where's this about here? That's not going to work. You need to take it. If you're going to buy this, you need to take it here. To get a risk reward, you're going to take it there. Then you can. And then you put the stop down here. Yeah, that would work. So let's have a look at that. $89.60. That should do it. That should do it. I'm looking to buy on that one. So I like, thank you for bringing the trade idea forward. I disagree with the direction. I think it's a buy. Hope you understood that, Mandela, by the way. Go into more detail just now, but it's quite frankly simple as that. You can go for a couple more times, because I mean, how simple is like changing gear. It is all right once you've changed gear a few times, but at first it might be a bit awkward. It's just a very simple momentum strategy. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think the guys have been using it. I've had some success at it. Can't say it doesn't be any harm either. So I've had some success there as well. Who likes it? Who loves you, baby? Anyone old enough to remember all the Lollipop Man, Telly Savalas and Kojak? Herod likes it. Anyone want to join him? What about you, Pietro? If you like it, it's not about the direction difference, but if you like it, fine. Okay, let's write this down. You are GBP 5. Just going to get the figures down because I'm going to post it to see if the company is willing to send it out. 0.8759. Now, you might say, why is it necessary when I'm qualified and it comes from me? Basically, have to say it. Because ultimately, I'm an employee of the company, so the company has to take the bold risk of keeping their, their what you call it, their regulations in order, and they tend to get attacked in the background. It doesn't work out, so it's up to them to say whether they're willing to take that attack, I suppose. So to be fair, that's what happens. So I've got it written down. We like it. EPSLTP, and it's 175. Right, guys, just remember, it's 175 grand a micro. It's up to you, it's your money. It's strongly suggesting anybody who got less than 2 grand, don't touch it. You're going to be overexposed. And if you got more than 2 grand and you haven't got enough free margin, you've got no choice. You've got to leave it. Try and remember that all the time. Don't care what you got in your account. Don't jump into another trade if after you place the trade, you haven't got enough free margin to maintain those half a dozen trades you're opening. The last thing you want is to get up the noise, the up and down noise, get margin called, one's knocked off, and it's just a noise, and you're not on board, it goes, all right, you'll be highly irritated. So make sure if you haven't got enough free margin, leave the trade or put more margin in, like some people do, if you can afford it. Okay. All about capitalism having the capital to do it. Because I get what people do. They say, I haven't got the capital, I want to make a lot of money. Or say, what's the minimum? And look all shocked and say, do you want to make the minimum amount of money? No. Well, why put the minimum? You get the idea. It's purely emotional. And don't have unrealistic expectations either. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste that. That's sort of the wrong thing there. Where's the, not come up yet. Just give me a second. Why is it not come up yet? What do you think? Why is that? Give me another minute. Do it all over again. Just have to be patient, guys. Sorry, this copy and paste doesn't come up. Got it. You might, if you like it, might ask me for figures. So I'll just have to stop and do the figures. I can do some off the top of my head. Let's see, 175, 290 to speed it up. It's like the mental arithmetic. It's not the savant standard, but it's not bad. Okay, the next one on the list that I've written down was the $8 yen, $1 rand. Okay, just knock that off. $1 rand. Don't forget, guys, $1 rand. Always remember, because it's an exotic, it's not a cross or a major, it attracts a higher margin. So it's not for guys who got, small accounts. Don't touch it if you got less than a couple of thousand rand, or preferably more in your account, because it's about 600 rand a micro margin. I'm not talking about risk here. I'm talking about deposit. You know what I'm saying? And the deposit is higher. So you don't be tying all your margin up on one instrument. Now you can't trade anywhere else. And the costs are higher. Remember, always check on the properties, left click, right click on the chosen instrument and check contract size. We know it's 100,000 or forex 100,000 contract. That's the margin. But more important, we're talking about now is the spread, 25 pips. It's an expensive one to trade. So strongly advise, guys, for smaller accounts, leave it alone. It is an exotic, and that's international. If you want to trade a peso or whatever, it's always going to have wider spreads, higher deposit, because it being a smaller currency, it's vulnerable to attack by big players. Remember, when you're doing margin leverage, if I've got 100-to-1 leverage, all I've got to do is put 1 million rand in, and my control is 100 million rand. Now, a million rand might sound a lot to you, but the players out there, it's not a big deal. There's guys out there can put $2 or $3 million in, right? And 100-to-1 leverage, you multiply that by 100, that's your contract size. That then these smaller currencies can be vulnerable to be played. That's why they do attract higher margins to protect the market maker and, quite frankly, higher costs. Just as long as you understand that, fair enough. Just bear that in mind. It's not someone went in with a small account, just didn't know, and thought with the normal currency trade. If you think rand's pretty weak, I'll go and buy the dollar and sell it. A little bit more to it. Just bear that in mind. Having said that, okay, I'm going to knock that off. Are we on the dollar rand at the moment? Yes, we are. Knock that off. Okay, well, technically speaking, I prefer to buy it above there or buy it further down here, depending on the situation on the dollar. It's not that much on the rand at the moment. It's more about the dollar being fairly weak. Just bear that in mind. Okay. In other words, put that together, leave it alone. Simple as that. Okay. Leave it alone. We've got conflicting stuff. It's in the neutral zone. It's not a strong buy. It's even a fairly iffy sort of economy got at the moment. That's a polite way of putting it. It seems to be holding those levels there, and the dollar's a bit weak. I think there's too many balls in the air to even think of doing this. The costs all put together, leave it alone. Okay, NZDJPY. If you're happy with that, I'll come back to you if you're not happy with that. NZDJPY. What do you want to do with that? Testing the 50? Not quite. Oh, on the 1 hour. Yeah, test the 50 on the 1 hour. Is that the one we're looking at? Thanks, Marty. That's right. Thanks for reminding. Actually, I like it. Okay, just a second. I've got to do those levels. Euro GBP. Thank you, Petro. Looks like it's going to be sent out. I might go off the top of my head. Just give me a second. $290. $175, $350, $450, $525. $580, $570, $870. That may get 700 on the dot. And R, that's 290, that's 870, minus 10, 860, and 3 is 1160. Sorry. Okay, right. Cancel that. Right, NZDJPY. NZDJPY. Whose idea this was? That you wouldn't mind. NZDJPY. That's already done for us. There you are. There you are. All right. I tell you, sorry, just go to the hourly. Seems to be coming right. There we are. Thanks for reminding me there. Didn't have to wait. We didn't have to wait for that. What do you think, guys? Yeah. I'm happy, Marley. Who's your idea? Whose idea was this? Accolade is, you know what I'm saying? If it works, if it doesn't, well, mine. Oh, yours as well, is it? Okay. NZD. So I presume you like it, although you actually know you want to go wrong, didn't you? And what I like about this one is it's slightly cheaper as well. So it's only $100. So the guys in less than about 1,500 rand can do this one without the couldn't. That's correct. This one here we got up now. Okay, so who likes this? Carol likes it. They got some support. You got some support from myself. My ass on the line this one as well. We need a couple of others. And if it is, I'll post on the and then we might get stuff on it. Good enough. All right, good. So since it's yours, put your name down there. Good stuff. Okay. Right, see what's going to be said on this one. So I'm supposed to onto the group. Give me a moment. Okay, well, got that if you like it. If you don't like it, you're all fired. You upset me and Pietro. Yeah. And it shoots up, and then they'll be happy, eh? Okay, just on a quick revisit. Quick revisit. Gold in the open gold, now stop ring. ADJPY, 89.75. Back to square one again, let it run. Just got into the other ones, GBP. And for took the EJS one, I hope you understand that now. If you don't, I'll go back to again, no problem. That was about the same, so that's fine. We just got the other one. That. Okay, right. Yeah. So if you still not sure the EJ one, you like the look of the idea, I'll go through it again. But if you've got a couple of seconds, I just want to read out some stuff here, if you don't mind. It's boring, well, tough. Go and read anyway. Got this from, I think it's CNBC. I'll get it the wrong way around. So I think it's going to just stop the share and read it out. It's an app, by the way, if anyone wants it, it's free of charge. I think they pester you a lot to be a premium member, like you always do, understandably, obviously. Totally makes sense, but okay. Right. Stock foods inch down. Stock inch down as Wall Street awaits tech earnings. Just let these guys in, pick them up. As Wall Street awaits tech earnings, that's important. Tech earnings, big guys coming out with earnings. How is that important? Well, clear it is. If the earnings are good, it'll affect them positively. If they're negative, it'll affect the tech companies negatively. And if they're heavyweight tech companies like Apple and Amazon, that will affect market movements even in the index because they're a big part of that index. Stock futures fell on Monday morning. Investors away a slew of corporate earnings from big tech companies as well. Data releases, we know all that. And radio's all closed. Yeah, that's what turned us in the past. We know that. What's companies pointing so far? All right. Well, some companies company pointing in so have beaten our earnings per share estimates called less optimistic. Yeah. First quarter earnings comes our estimate decline. Okay, so I'm getting less optimistic. Bottom line, more in detail. A lot of our companies took last year's not to dump all the bad stuff in their earnings. So that's long-term equity, not talking short-term stuff here, not leverage instruments. Okay, so that's fair enough. Latch on a bit more if somebody jumps out. I wouldn't be surprised to see if a lot of positive growth come out of there as well. We'll see. Investors are also keeping a close eye out on new economic data to provide insight into whether inflation is cooling or if the Federal Reserve, the Fed, will announce another rate hike in its meeting in early May. I think it's on the 4th. Remember that. Gross domestic product numbers for the first quarter, as well as April's consumer sentiment data, were released among a flurry of other economic indicators, all coming out in the next few days. Bear that in mind. Important. Part of the reason why we're so focused on economic data is we think the investor narrative is still around the Fed and interest rates. We're all familiar with that. We've been going on about it for quite a long time. For part of the reason why we're so focused on the economic data, more than normal, that's why it's affecting us so much, is we think the investors, you guys, the investors, narrative is still around the Fed and interest rates. No, we hear it, but it's not just me saying it. Okay, very important. And we think the economic reports over the next 7 to 10 days are going to be the really big drive for ultimately what the Fed is going to do. We've been saying we're waiting for a drive, and they keep saying we'll wait for another 7 days. When we get this driver direction, then it gets a lot easier trading. When you wait for direction, it's the worst of the lot. Bearables, not a problem. You can trade short, buy long, no problem. It's the indecision. We want direction. So that's what they're saying there. What I agree with. We're expecting the data, Frank, to be mixed. That I don't want. We want a direction anyway. And we think that's going to continue. Got to go. Okay, Siamonga, I get that. Just a quick overall of the economic front and help people understand the background. Why are we getting all this sort of conflict in the markets up and down? And we think it's going to continue to cause uncertainty and continued volatility. Oh no, it's been a hassle for the last month or two. I think to some extent the Fed rate hike slowed the economy down, fair enough. There's still areas where things are still looking okay, robust in other words. Because of that, we think the Fed is likely to do one more rate cut. Maybe the end of the year. That's not sure about that. Maybe a hike. Coca-Cola and Credit Suisse are set to report earnings. Remember that? The First Republic Bank, we're looking at results. Keep a good eye on banks, by the way. Any jitteriness on the banking sector will have a big effect. And don't forget, we're also looking ahead toward mega cap tech earnings results this week in what will mark the halfway point of earnings season. Alphabet, that's Google, by the way, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook are among the high interest names scheduled. These are major trillion-dollar players. That's coming up over this coming week. Just bear that in mind. So just bring that to your attention. Have to word for word. Bring it to your interest. Keep an eye on it. I'll stop the share and go back. Okay. Hope that was some value to you. If it wasn't, I'm very sorry. Hope we can all see the chart again. Okay, so there we go. Haven't sent it out yet. We haven't asked the levels, so hang on that one. We haven't posted yet that trading idea. We asked the levels, so I presume we're going to post it. Maybe it's jumping around a bit. What we're talking about here, Euro GBP. This was a buy, right? It started to go up. Don't know why I'm not sending it up. Clinton quite likes it as well. So we need these levels sent out. It's moving as we speak. Maybe he's busy in a meeting somewhere. This comes first, so I don't know, whatever. Okay, so that was a little bit of information there. So the tech stocks are important. Coca-Cola is important, but we don't really play around with Coke. We're more tech stock guys. So just bear in mind that earnings will have some form of effect. And I pointed out to back up what I've been going on about is, thank you, Ken, for the support on that, because it's important. We've got to know what's happening in the background. It really does affect the trading. And this volatility, not sure, investor interest is focused on interest rates from the Fed, the US, is a backup to what I've been saying. It's not just me thumb sucking. I'm pretty sure you trust me enough I can do it, but it's nice to have that backup. If you want that CNBC, it's free of charge. You can get it on your app store. Just always remember when you're reading it, it's still part of the narrative. We're all like that, but it's very much part of the Democratic narrative. So it's not going to be anything positive about the Republican or Trump or whoever's going to run then. And it's never going to be negative about Biden. Not never, but unlikely. So just bear in mind the narrative. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you bear in mind, you know. What do you think of your wife? You happy with your wife or whatever? Well, now I can say, no, she's bloody awful. It's going to be a slightly biased narrative. You know what I'm saying? Or boyfriend or whatever. It's going to be a biased narrative. Okay, but otherwise, it's good stuff. But look at the objective ones. The opinions will always have that bias. So look at it if you like, but it's not valuable. Right. Okay, so we're good with that. Now I'm going to go to well, I'm short that, you all know that, but I'm staying with that. I think I'm already mind the stock. I think it's about 200 pips behind. I can't remember right now. Anyway, the bottom line is you're probably asking, should you join the bandwagon now? I'm a bit nervous. Look at that buy and seller chart over the last 3 weeks. It is still a range trading. It hasn't broken the range. It's at the bottom of the range. But I'm clearly thinking it's going to be selling the rally more than buying the range up. It could actually occur. It might get a bounce to stay in the range. So if you're looking for a buy to take it up, I can see a reason behind it there, Mandla. I am nervous. Well, I'm not nervous. I'm being upfront with you. I am in this trade and I am short. But could it bounce up? Very much. But I'm not sure I'm very comfortable to jump in and buy it now with a bit of uncertainty, but it's not totally wrong to buy it now, purely from a range trade. Okay, so I'm looking at a sell, but not the moment. Sell the rally. You can go up back to 13,000, this sort of level here. Maybe if you bounce about 100 pips from where it is now, I think you can sell it down, but I wouldn't be joining it now. Now, they want the levels. So I forgot what the levels are, so I'm just going to do it on my head, so I don't have to take the calculator. Okay. Risk is 0.01, 105, and 200 makes it even easier. 200. Are you happy with that, Mandela? Okay, yeah. I'd rather short the rally and then take a chance to buy the bounce the moment, personally speaking, but there's a good chance it might have a bit of a bounce. It hasn't broken through yet. Okay. If you're short and a decent price, I'd stay hold it. If you're not in now, I think wait for a bounce, but I'm not wrong to buy it, but I'd be a bit nervous, especially something as volatile as this. Okay, good stuff. Thank you. Right, we've got a few minutes to go. I've done my news bit, I've done all the other bits. Are we clear on the momentum strategy? If you're not interested in it, well, it doesn't really matter. For those who aren't and trying to have a go at it, and just wanted to have a quick run by again, I'll do it. It's, trust me, it ain't complicated, but just needs, just make sure you got it right in your head. So, anyone want to look at that? Did you get it, Mandela? Has everyone else got it? Or anybody want to me to just go through it again? The last few minutes of the session. Well done. I think some of the regulars already got it. So anybody else want it? Just remember, guys, you can do the NAS, the Dow on this momentum principle. You've got to have a wider stop. It's not 30 anymore, it's 100. I chatted with Farley about maybe lowering to 75, but I agree with him. It's too close. That's too volatile. You might be in a 3:30 opening and it knocks you out just in the bloody opening, and you're going the right way. Be very frustrated. Normally, when I trade the NAS, it's 200 minimum, but 100 if you're doing that one. You've got 1% now. Just get going. Just get a post it for you now. Give me a second. It doesn't matter, you guys. I'm talking about the guys like you already know about it. Good. So another one sent out. I'll do that as well. Thanks for your help, guys. I want to reiterate, this is not just me, me fishing for you. It's teaching you how to fish. The biblical phrase, teach a person how to fish, and they'll feed for life. You know that one, and it helps me, to be quite honest, as well, because it gives me confidence if I'm about to go into one, or and it helps to come up with ideas that I could have missed, which I often do. Bear that in mind. Okay, so it's good stuff. So what I mentioned as well, I'm going to put my number up here in the meantime. Okay, just a second. As always, want to explain, please only use this WhatsApp number if you've got a real account, not a demo, above 500 Rand. And I remember I'm with trading support. I'm licensed to advise you. If you do open another account or any technical problems, you go to the live chat to sort out. I don't. If you're not sure, I'll point in the right direction, but it gets busy. Do not ask me, how do I close a trade or how can I place a trade? Your job is therefore to go to platforms so you know how to do it. In other words, I'm there to advise people who've done the basics, have done the classes, it's not for somebody to come along and say, please, Roger, teach me trading. I wish I could, but it doesn't quite work that way. It's an ongoing process. Teach me how to play golf like Tiger Woods on a WhatsApp. Think of it, guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, demos is self-kidology. I have done in the past, I'll be honest. But, and I was self-kidology. I thought we were doing so well till the good lady friend said, yeah, well done, Roger, but it's fake money. Come back and tell them it's real money, and I'll pat you on the back and all that, shut me up. Okay, so please just remember, I've got a lot of guys looked after. I'm happy to help. But if you do have 2.5 grand or more, $150 or more in your account, and you want to be a member of my WhatsApp QT VIP group, just let me know. But please don't do what some guy says, hi, I'd like to be a member of your group. I don't doubt you do, but who are you? Okay, I can find out from the number, but it takes time. Rather be professional, say, this is hi Roger, this is John Smith, real account number 20143. I've got more than 2.5 in my account. Please add me to the group. Then I've got to quickly go check it out and then add you to the group. Okay. 2.5, 2,500. But it doesn't really matter, Ken. If you're here, you get them all anyway. It doesn't really matter. If you're going to come every day to trade them, it's irrelevant. You get them all in one. It's another one coming. It's for guys who can't make the trade, and you're going to miss the odd trade. And you won't get the daily updates, whatever you say are. But anyway, it's not so much getting the daily updates, the value. The major value is you've got money to play with, which means you can diversify. Remember, small amounts of money, half the trades you can't go into because the exposure is too high. And if you do, it means you can't go into any other trades. So all your eggs are in one basket. Okay, so you need to diversify. And you need capital to do that. And unfortunately, I know everyone's in sales. I know that, I get that. But I'm falsely promising, shall we say, the less mathematically informed, that they can get a lot of money by putting the minimum in. I don't want to break your bubble, but I think you have to be realistic. There's nothing wrong with a 5-day medical aid course, nothing wrong with it, but you can't expect to be a doctor with it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I get the impression some people do. Well, quite frankly, that's an interesting question, that. I mean, well, clearly, I mean, we're in business like anyone else in business. I know what business you're in, but if you give me your advice and I take that advice and I take it to somewhere else, how's that right? You know what I mean? My friend's a lawyer, right? So I go up and I get all the advice from her or him, and then I go and give the business elsewhere. I mean, what, you know, it's just not the way it's played, you know? I suppose you can do. I mean, anything's possible, but is it, you know, is it kosher? You know what I mean? Well, there you are. I mean, it should be asked that. It's common sense. Would you like it the other way around? Keep being badgered all day for advice and assistance, which I'm happy to give, and study the other guy. If the other broker's so damn good, why not go and ask their advice? Why come here? If you think we're good, why not put your money here? If you think they're good, what do you need me for? Go and ask them. It's not kosher. You know what I mean? It's not right. No, of course you don't. All it means you've got enough money in your account, and you just let me know, and I'll upload. There's no cost to it. I'll upload you, and you get daily updates and theory more trading signals. And I mean, if you put more money in, you can take up more of my time. I mean, the guy wants to spend an hour a day with me. He's got 5 rand's account. Yeah, what I get paid is far more than the entire account. Never mind the brokerage would extract from it. It should be common sense. You know what I mean? And I don't go in and get a guy to drive out to me to see me about sending me 1 bar of chocolate. It's not worth the petrol. It's not worth it. Common sense, one should think. You know what I mean? But if you say, right, I'm thinking of buying a million bars a month from you, can we get together? Absolutely. These things people ask, and I think that something should be obvious. They shouldn't need to. It should be obvious. Or guys battling in the Zoom trading room or somewhere else, and then it comes up on the live chat. Can you teach me to trade? Well, if you're battling the Zoom, you battle the classes. How is a text message going to teach you how to trade? That sort of thing worries me a bit, because it means the person wants big results, but they're not employing thinking processes. You know, it should be obvious. Or I can't make a trade because I haven't got any money in my account. Well, isn't that fairly self-explanatory? So what do I do? Well, put some more money in. Well, I haven't got it. Well, then we can trade. I mean, you know, I want to buy this Ferrari. It's 2 million rand. But I haven't got 2 million rand. Well, sorry, mate, then you can't buy the Ferrari. Well, you know, you know what I mean? It's frustrating, you know, because you want to get on and help people, and, you know, you've got to help themselves a little bit by a little bit of common sense. I think I'm being nasty. That's just basic, isn't it? For a second, I'll just make sure that's all been sent. And ZD, I haven't, just give me a moment. I like to send a photo as well. Take the trouble to do it, so I'll do it. Somehow the photo drags your attention to it, so a bunch of figures. Good. All right, it's coming up to the witching hour, 11 o'clock. I don't mind going over, by the way, I mean that. Oh, I'm locking off at 11. If we've got great trades to discuss, I'll go after, no problem. But I think we're all updated at the moment. We can see how they run, and then we'll get together at 4 o'clock and look at the markets as well, see how the NAS is doing. The guys in Microsoft are in a profit now. We might find something else. Going to be a bit nervous those tech stocks because of the earnings coming out, so probably leave them for the time being. In fact, Microsoft might be an idea on opening to start looking at modifying the stock, just in case a tech stock, Microsoft earnings come out and knock us, you and me. We'll look at that later on, just a reminder. But we'll have a look at the trades we've done, we'll try and find new ones. But always remember, it's no good having a flood of trades if you haven't got enough margin. I mean, one guy, well, not one, quite a few said to me, incoming mail. It's promised to get 5 trades a day. My answer to that is, but you've got 400 rand in your accounts. You can't even hardly handle 1 trade, never mind 5. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, Ken, that's true. You see, this is unfortunately what most people want. They want the money, but they don't want the responsibility. You know, they want to be the captain of the ship, but they don't want all the hassles and stress of the entire ship and all the people on board responsibility. And unfortunately, one goes with the other. That's why we see people earning big money and more stressed. They're not posing in front of their Ferrari, getting the Lear jet. They haven't got time. They're stressed because responsibility they're under. It's based, all this stuff is aimed at people who, you know, want the returns but no responsibility. Unfortunately, usually go hand in hand. If you're general, you get more than the private, the responsibilities are different ballgame. I think that they often don't realise that, unfortunately. They go together. And it should be common sense, but clearly it isn't, because a lot of people are not getting this. And I think the reason is the total focus what they want to extract from something, but not think what they're going to put in to get what they want. And it seems to be a concept beyond most of the human race. You've got to put something into the back before you get something out of it. Any questions before we close up? Are we all good? Those can make it. 4 o'clock. Oh yes, before I go, if you need to get hold of your account manager for anything, go to the portal. The details are there. You probably got it anyway. And if you anytime you miss a trading room and you want to check it out, you can go to the portal, go to the menu, go to social media, and you go to YouTube. They're all recorded there. Just so you know. If you miss one, you're driving home. You don't want to be. You put on your phone the Zoom, I suppose, but you're a bit nervous. You're driving. I don't know, whatever reason. And you go home at 6 and it's finished. You can go and check it out. It's recorded there for you. Just so you know. Oh yes, before you go as well, you guys, don't forget, save your charts. Right click on a blank space in your chart if you haven't done it already. Templates, click on Save Template and then save it. Okay, put your name in here, clear, not the template name, put your name in there, save it. And then if you do lose your charts for whatever reason, there you go to templates and you pick the one you like, you save, you can save several and it's up and running again. Don't forget to save your templates. Any information on the instrument, left click, right click, go to specification. All the info is there. And you've got the euro, the economic calendar, and you've got the dollar index, and you've got my number. I think I've covered all those things earlier on. Hope you're good. And well, hope the trades go well, and we'll have another look at them later on this afternoon. Don't jump in and jump out too quickly. Give the trade a chance. Incoming mail. It's going to go up and down. You understand that. And don't get your stop loss when you modify it too close. Last thing you want to get stopped out on a 5-10 pip stop and it shoots off in the right direction. And now you're missing out on plenty of profit because it's going in the right direction. Modify, but keep an eye on having a gap between the two. Depends. There's no rule of thumb. I'm normally about 20, 30 to 40 sometimes, depending on the situation. And the NAS is different. Keep a wide stop on the NAS. It's much more volatile. And
Hey, mate.
Yep.
Before we go, man, I can't stay away from the US dollar. Do you wanna check out the Euro USD if it's breaking up or what? I see an hourly breakup there.
Well, big thanks. No, a trade idea like that, we don't care if it's 11:30, we go for it. Thanks. That's exactly what we're here for. Absolutely. No need to apologize about that. Right. Yeah, it's definitely breaking up. So the weekly. Yeah, monthly. Trying to find a target. You could use a Fibonacci extension for a target if you haven't got one. You don't have to worry about this case. We got one. You're quite right. That's too far. On the monthly, remember, so I didn't look much, 150 pips. That's my problem. I want to get the stop here. If you put it below today's range, you can get a risk reward there. But that's only 11 hours old, this candle. Let's buy the 4 hour. It's not really broken out. The dollar is coming off a little bit. Is it getting maintained? 101.50, is that going to hold? I've got the wrong one.
Sorry, are we on the same chart?
No, fine. I got there before you for the first time in my life. Sorry about that, wrong one. Okay, that's better. Sorry. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Sorry about that. Bloody wrong chart there. It's close to it, my mistake. Yeah. $1.1185. Not bad, eh? Remember, you need 2 grand or more and plenty of free margin to do this because it's 170 odd rand a micro. Don't forget that. But yeah, I'm going to go along with that. It's below the weekly on the 50-week, sorry, the 100-week daily moving average. So the stop is nicely out of the way and the potential move up. If it doesn't get there, it doesn't matter because you modify it and hopefully make a profit. 1.1, the analysis saying it seems to be holding. It's a round figure. It looks like the dollar's weakening. Spot on, Ken. I think it's a possibility. What do you think, guys? Don't want to embarrass Ken, but remember he's done it before. So he's worth listening to. Sorry to embarrass you there, mate, but yeah. Henry went in, didn't want to miss it. That sounds good enough to me. Clearly done it before. Someone says he's got another broker. It means they've done it before anyway. I'll assume anyway. What do you think? Ken, do you like it going for anyone else like it? Been pretty good, actually. 1.1 seems to be holding it. Right, the dollar's coming off a bit. It's quite good, I agree with you.
Yes, mate. I think I'm gonna go for it now.
Okay. 1.1. Remember, you're going to the buys at 1.1006. Just one short of 007, eh? 0940, 0914, beg your pardon. Ignore the last decimal point, don't worry about that. 0914 and 1185. Let's put that down there. And that's Ken. Okay, happy with that. Okay, so enough guys like it. There you are. It gives you a second or two to take that down. I'm going to copy it, by the way. Might as well that subject. Yeah, just leave it on there 1 week, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you. Got it there? All got it? Anyone else? Shall I knock it off now? All happy? Okay, well, I'm not getting answers, so I presume we are. Okay, you're all good. Fantastic. Right, okay, good stuff. We'll just stop the share then. Right, thanks very much. Thanks very much for the contribution and interacting. And yeah, quite enjoyable for a Monday. You did okay. Doing all right for a Monday. Pretty marvellous, in fact, for a Monday. Well bloody done. Okay, so catch you guys later at 4. Of course, those who can make it. Cheers, I. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks.